Hey, welcome back to While You're In There. So we got the crank and the pistons in. I'm gonna get the camshaft in. Um, Now my guy gave me some of the oh, what do you call it now? Break-in lubes that he likes to use, and he knows a lot more than I do. So I'm gonna go with his recommendation. And I don't know what it's called because all he did, he put it in a bag for me like this. And it's just a bunch of stuff squirted in there, but it's got it written on there for the camshaft lobes. And I don't know what brand this is. It's just a break-in fluid, but he got it for the rod, main, and the cam journals. So that's what I got going on. So I got the red stuff on the cam journals, and on the lobes I got that gray stuff. He talked to me about it on the phone. It's been a couple weeks now, so I don't remember what the gray stuff is, and I apologize for that. But so I lubed up the first set of them there. The rest of them I got to do as we're putting them in. But I did have a long bolt. I think this is going to help a lot. And I screwed in there, and it made a handle so it's longer, and I'm not touching that journal as I'm putting it in. So let me set this down here, and I'm going to start guiding that in, and hopefully it goes well. All right, so here we go. I'm going to grab this and carry it over here. I'm going to try to be ever so gentle with this thing. I'm going to go this way so I can have that flat on the end. Maybe I could pick it up from the other side. And just so gentle. And I'm trying not to mix up the gray lube with the red lube. Just taking it real nice and easy. It's going in really nice, actually. So I'm going to stop right there for a second, grab my rag, because I got some of this stuff on my fingers. I'm going to grab a glove real quick and use some more of that gray stuff on these lobes and get the red stuff for the gear, the distributor gear. So bear with me for 1 second, just getting these gloves on here. This is going really well. Actually, the piston's giving me a harder time than this thing is. It's going really well. So I'm going to break out my little bag of gray stuff that he gave me. Just dip my finger in it. This stuff goes a long way. It's easier to work with too than the red break-in assembly lube. So I'm going to go all the way around these and make sure there's not a dry spot anywhere on it. And just get the other ones. I'm going to go all the way up to the next bearing journal. This stuff spreads out real nice, better than the assembly lube. Yeah, he wanted me to use this stuff on the lobes, but the red stuff on the bearing journals. So I don't know what's in this, but you know, we were talking about the flat tappet cams and stuff. He's like, I'm going to give you a couple bags of stuff that I like to use for these types of cams for the initial break-in period. And like I said, he knows a lot more than I do. He does this for a living. He builds engines and blocks for the racetrack. So I'm going to go with all of his recommendations that he gave to me. I wish I knew what this was. You know, I don't think he told me what it was at the time, but Um, he said, I'm going to give you this stuff and I want you to put those on the cam lobes and I'll write it down for you on the bags. So I'm just doing what he's telling me. So let me get some of this red stuff out. This just kind of looks like the same as the Permatex. But he really wanted me to use this stuff on the camshaft. So I'm going to get in that gear really, really well. It's kind of tough getting down on the bottom of them, the teeth of them grooves on that gear. It's kind of tough getting in there. So I'll probably end up putting more on the other half that goes on here. When we get to that point, the distributor. So let me get a little more in here. Can't see the bottom side too well. Shoot, I'm mixing stuff up here. I don't want to get the red on the gray stuff. All right. So let me wipe these gloves real quick, and I'll slide that next section in there. And after that, there's only be one more to go, and we can put that retaining thrust plate on there. Okay, so I'm going to come from this side with it. Turn it. And don't be afraid of this part. Everyone's afraid of this part. Just go slow. You'll be just fine. It's just hard to get your hand in there to pick it up. So I'm going to scooch it in a little more here. It goes through the bearing races really well. I thought I was going to have hang-ups with that, but it's going really, really nice. I just can't get my hand in there far enough, my fingers in there, to pick it up. Okay. Here. Oh, shoot, I got to back up. I forgot the... I got a little ahead of myself. I forgot to lube up these cam lobes and that journal right there. Alright, so let me do that quickly. I'll get this gray stuff out. Yeah. It all kind of ran to the bottom of the baggie. Okay, now I got way too much on my fingers. Way too much. So let's go around. I'm not going to leave a single dry spot. On them lobes for the lifters. Boy, I got too much on there. Wipe off your excess stuff. Because once you start, it's all going to pile up on one side of the lifter. Get this last one here. Boy, getting way too much of it. This stuff doesn't smell very good. Okay, so let's get some of this excess off. If I got any on that journal there. We get the red stuff. As soon as I get this stuff off my fingers first. And then get the red lube. And we will get this thing in there. I thought this part was going to give me a hard time, but it's actually going really well. I'm getting messy with this stuff again. Get some on this here. Try not leaving a dry spot anywhere. Oh, before I started putting this in there, I did go through with a flashlight and made sure the oiling hose on the bearings, the holes lined up with the holes in the block, made sure that, you know, there were no mistakes or nothing when the guy pressed them in for me. And then I did go in there and put red assembly lube on the bearings in the block. So, we'll have plenty of lube. Wipe my hand one more time here. It's really, really messy and pretty sticky stuff. Okay, so did I get you guys at a good angle there? Yeah, I think so. Okay. And just go back to what you're doing there. Getting this in there. Oh. Yeah, it's going really, really well. I get stuck at this last part here. Okay. This is about as far as I got when I realized I forgot to lube up the journals. Okay, last one's going in the end. And it's goes in real nice. See that? Real nice. Okay, so I can take this bolt out of there. That's just something I had laying around. Because the one that goes in the end was just too short. That made a nice little handle though. So, I'm going to move your camera one more time and show you the front of the block here. Like so. We'll turn this around a little bit. Like that. And then, don't forget to put your plug in here. You don't have to put Teflon on that. But get the one on the back side of the block too. Directly back from this one on the far side. Alright, so grab your retaining bolt, the thrust plate, and I can see markings in here from where the old one was riding against it. So put that side there. Now this is a Torx bit. It's a Torx 40, and the torque on it is 18 foot-pounds. My heater just kicked on. It's kind of cold night here. This one's like gummed up. I don't know what's wrong with it when I can't get it to turn in by hand. it's got a little nick in the thread. So, get your torque wrench with your T40 bit, star bit. Kind of centers itself. There's not much play in the holes that the bolts go through. So you gotta set this to 18 pounds. 18 foot-pounds. It's gonna be, where are we at here? Can't see too well. 15, 16, 17. 18. So 18 foot-pounds on these. It's not much at all. And with that, your camshaft is in. So we're moving along here.